The Tory chairman, Richard Holden, dodges questions about being parachuted into a so-called safe seat. We're going to read into this more from Sky News, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from Sky News with the headline that the Tory chairman Richard Holden dodges questions about being parachuted into a so-called safe seat. Richard Holden, the Tory chairman who oversees his party's election campaign, has been chosen to stand in the safe seat of Essex, so-called safe seat, 300 miles away from his former constituency in the northeast. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. Yes, guys, you know, obviously that the boundaries changed in his former constituency. So, and sadly for him, he didn't want to stay and fight in his area because he was worried that he would lose his seat. So what does he decide to do? He decides to try and parachute himself 300 miles away from where he normally is, in an area that he considers very close and very personal to him, literally what he just said about a week ago, and he's gone all the way, all the way to Essex. How much does he know about Essex? That's a good question. I don't think he knows a lot about Essex, shall we say. Now, there's a lot of things to dive into on this. So, first of all, he's upset a lot of Conservatives. Understandably so. He's not very well liked by some Conservatives as well. And this interview that he had, and I'm not going to play it just because I'm generally conscious of touch wood. I'm generally conscious of any kind of monetization or copyright issues. I would play it if I would play it, yeah, for you guys. Maybe if you guys want me to play it, I'll play it on the Snowflake Watch if you guys really want me to. But essentially, he really was asked some very straightforward questions in this Sky interview, and he just would not answer the questions, and it was getting infuriating, and the reporter was getting understandably upset. And then it got to a point where his advisor on the side basically ended the interview. I mean, because he wouldn't answer the straightforward questions, and questions that rightfully that he has statements that he has made in the past and just would not answer them. This is incredibly egregious. I really hope he gets a walloping in his new so-called seat that he's running as a candidate for. I really do, because it shows just how little care they have for the constituents and for people. For him to actually, rather than fight for the people that he was under the seat of, yeah, he's ran away like a little rat, ran away from where he was to what a so-called safe seat to try and remain within Parliament. This is the kind of thing that really does make you sick to your stomachs, that they're more concerned about staying in some kind of power, to staying in some kind of Parliament so that they can earn themselves a decent wage off the expense of the taxpayer, rather than actually fighting for their actual constituencies. Now, this is a man that clearly does not give a damn about the constituencies. He's been put in this place in order to try and give himself the best shot of staying within the Conservative Party, rather than actually fighting for his own constituents. He does not care. This man does not care. Like the Prime Minister does not care about the people. And he's just looking to take advantage of others. And it, quite frankly, is pathetic. Really, really is pathetic. So the Tory party chairman has refused to answer questions about his selection controversy after he was chosen to stand in a safe seat 300 miles away from his former constituency. Richard Holden was chosen to be the Conservative parliamentary candidate for Basildon and Billericay, I can't say it properly, sorry, in Essex last week after being the only candidate on the list. I wonder why CCHQ didn't put other candidates up. Why do you think that, guys? The choice sparked a furore among local Conservatives, as before the election was called, he was the MP for North West Durham, an area hundreds of miles away, which he claimed to be bloody loyal to. Well, that bloody loyalty is not there now, is it? Basildon and Billericay is seen as a safe seat, with its former Tory MP John Barton, who stood down for the election, winning a majority of more than 20,000 in 2019. Mr. Holden refused to engage with questions about the row when speaking to broadcasters on Sunday. Asked multiple times how he could justify being parachuted into a safe seat with a short list of just one, he went on a tangent about Labour's policies to tax private school fees and comments made by the Shadow Minister and Ruth Thornberry. We're asking you questions. But Labour this, Labour that, but Labour. But we're asking you questions. But Labour. This is his response, is to say, but Labour. And yes, we do have questions about Labour. And you guys know how I feel about Labour. And I have my questions too. But this is not about Labour. This is about you, sir, and your actions, your comments, and your responsibilities. And clearly, you just want to talk about Labour. But we want to talk about you. Really is quite a dodger, isn't he? A real jammy dodger. He said, this interview is about Emily Thornberry's comments today when she admitted that it is going to be our children across the country paying the price for Labour's decisions to try and tax private schools if they get into office. Mr. Holden was referring to Miss Thornberry saying that class sizes in state schools may increase as a result of Labour adding VAT to private school fees, which could see some pupils leave the independent sector. I would say, I think it's, these changes need to happen. That's just my personal opinion, but some will disagree. He said, I think it's a horrendous price to pay for Labour's ideological obsession. Asked to deny if he was part of a stitch-up with his seat selection, Mr. Holden again pointed to Mr. Thornberry's comments. Then asked why he said in February he was bloody loyal to the North East when he had been an MP since 2019. He claimed he has answered questions about this selection on Channel 4. Yes, because I've already answered these questions, so I don't need to ask them again because I did it on another broadcaster. Yeah, but you're not on that broadcaster, you're on our broadcaster, so we want our broadcasting viewers to know what you said about it, but you said it on another channel, but we don't want to hear what you said on another channel. We want you to say what you said here on this channel. It was put to him that C4 is one broadcaster and he was taking part in a pool clip, which sees broadcasters share their footage, but Mr. Holden would still not be drawn on the matter. Holden is a disgrace to the Conservative Party. His refusal to answer the question drew a fierce condemnation from one Tory candidate, who told Sky's deputy political editor Sam Coates that he is a disgrace to the Conservative Party. He added, he put himself over candidates. He's shown complete disdain for party members. The only reason this fool won't be associated with this disastrous election is because nobody believes anyone thinks he's competent, capable, or trusted enough to be involved in the day-to-day decision-making of this campaign. It's a running joke amongst celebrities that they hope it's a Labour gain in Basildon and Billericay. Sorry, I've got something stuck in my throat, apologies. The former Defence Secretary, Sir Liam Fox, gave a more muted criticism, telling Sky News, I think when politicians stop answering questions directly, the public stops listening. Labour's chairman Anthony Stolz said Rich Holden is running the Tory election campaign. If Chicken Run Rick can't stand the heat, he should get out of the kitchen. I like that, that's a good one. Mr. Holden also faced questions about Rishi Sunak, who has been accused of avoiding the media as the row over his early exit from an international D-Day event continues. Asked if he is hiding, Mr. Holden said, the Prime Minister will be out on the road, I'm sure, over the next few days, fighting for every vote across the country. Mr. Sunak has been campaigning in Yorkshire without the usual media pack today after facing accusations of dodging reporters with questions on Saturday as the row over his D-Day snub rumbles on. The Prime Minister was forced to apologise on Friday for skipping an international ceremony attended by world leaders, including US President Joe Biden, to mark the 80th anniversary of his Allied landings. But backlash continued to pile on from rivals, veterans and some within his own party, with Conservative communicator Tim Montgomery branding the early departure as the biggest gaffe I can remember in politics. The continued criticism comes amid a 20-point poll deficit, has fueled speculation Mr. Sunak could resign before polling day. I don't think he will, but it's entirely possible. Something Cabinet Minister Mel Stride was forced to shut down on Sunday. He told Sky News Rishi Sunak will absolutely lead the party into the election. There should be no question of anyone other than that, he said. What a pathetic chairman and a pathetic Prime Minister. It really is quite a shambolic, guys. I just cannot believe just how stepping over, like I've heard about, like we've heard stories obviously about some Labour candidates obviously being, or the so-called purging of the left. We've heard about some of the Labour candidates in local areas being denied being able to run seats and whatnot. But This is like this in comparison. This is like this is a massive scam right here, in terms of the insides of the Conservative Party, because you have local Conservatives in this area in Essex who know the area, who've worked there all their lives, and obviously they wanted one of their people in standing who knows the area thick and thin, and all of a sudden they get shafted, literally are shafted. Their words, their opinions, their thoughts get completely shafted, and here comes Richard Holden, just comes right swooping in, even though he said he's a man of the North. Well, clearly he has shown his true colours here. I just think it's quite disgusting. It really, really is. I don't think they should. Like, even if their Conservative values are against them, I don't think they should do any kind of campaigning whatsoever for this man. Or if they do, take leaflets out and just, I don't know, accidentally put them in the bin. They could accidentally do that. They could do that, or they could just, make up some new ones and say have a leaflet with the highlighting of anything but Tory in this area. But yeah, this Richard Holden is a right snake, and hopefully he will get kicked to the curb at this general election. But never mind what I think. The question is, what do you guys think? What do you guys make of Richard Holden? What do you make of him dodging questions? What do you make of him being moving and being parachuted into a so-called safe seat in order to avoid scrutiny? A man of the North, he says, has now ended up in Essex. What are your thoughts about all this and more? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. And subscribe, because it really does help support the channel. And if... Sorry, something went in the wrong throat there. And if you want to financially support me in the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content as well. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch you all very, very soon.